Is it possible to turn this yellow sand land into a fertile soil?
Crops like corn, tomatoes, sorghum, and sunflowers, transforming more than 200 hectares of sand dunes into an oasis, all within 6 months. Little, if any, rain and scorching temperatures, not exactly ideal conditions to support vegetation. But turning that logic on its head is this desert in North China's Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region.
According
to our calculation, there are over 70 kinds of crops growing here. Many are not planted by us, but they just grow themselves.
Crops like corn, tomatoes, sorghum, and sunflowers, transforming more than 200 hectares of sand dunes into an oasis, all within 6 months. It's all thanks to new technology developed by researchers at Chongqing Jiatong University. They developed a paste made of a substance found naturally in plant cell walls. When it's added to sand, it's able to retain water, nutrients, and air.
The costs of artificial materials and machines for transforming sand into soil is lower compared with controlled environmental agriculture and reclamation.
The research team has big future plans. This fall, it hopes to transform an additional 200 hectares of desert and possibly more than 13,000 in the next few years. The method could be promising for China. In 3 years, the country hopes to reforest 50% of degraded desert land that can be treated. By 2030, the United Nations is aiming to reach zero growth of desert farmland around the world. So China's breakthrough experiment in converting sand to soil is promising, for making land seemingly hostile to life fertile ground.
Zhao lives near the desert. He has a new job working in a solar power station.
For 1,000 years, there's nothing here but sand in the middle of the Kubuqi Desert. And now, this is one of the largest solar power stations in northwest China, and it only took 2 years to build this oasis here.
The solar power station generates 500 million kilowatt hours every year. It also generates income for local people.
We've hired local people for construction and maintenance work. They also become shareholders by leasing land to us.
I used to earn 2,000 to 3,000 yuan a year. Now I get paid 48,000 yuan a year. It's a big difference.
This is an example of the desert economy in Kubuqi. It's part of the efforts of a private company called E-Line to roll back desertification.
The core of it is to balance the relationship between government, enterprises, farmers, and ecological environment.
Raising the income of local people is vital to the success, and the environment is also benefiting.
The sandstorms are much fewer, and the movement of the sand dunes has also slowed.
Various ways are being developed to improve efficiency and reduce cost, like reserving 40 days of water for a tree and planting licorice that sells for around 10 yuan per kilogram in the market.
The ecological management in the desert must be economical and respect nature and market rules.
The desert economy model in Kubuqi has turned 6,000 square kilometers of desert green, created 500 billion yuan in value, and helped 100,000 farmers out of poverty.
We believe this is a model that can be replicated, that can have multiplier effect, and it can be replicated everywhere in the world where we have the right kind of building blocks, what are here.
Desertification affects over a fifth of China's territory and a third of its people. After years of efforts in legislation, policy, finance, mechanism, and technology innovation, China has become one of the few countries in the world that has reduced the areas under threat.
Is it possible to turn this yellow sand land into a fertile soil?
We plant a family of flowering plants having pods as fruits, and root modules that can extract nitrogen from the air, so the sandland can gradually become fertile soil.
Dong has been working for Kubuqi Desert Technology Institution since she graduated from Beijing Forestry University. The research center is founded by Alien Resources, a private enterprise specializing in sustainable land management. They discovered growing licorice used in Chinese herb medicine in difficult terrain is not only good for business, but also for the environment.
Licorice grows rhizobial, so it has nitrogen fixation. After the land has been planted with licorice, it can quickly change to soil and is then fertile for agriculture.
Apart from growing the right species, uninterrupted sunlight provides much potential for capturing large quantities of solar energy. Exploiting this resource would help China meet both its energy requirements and its commitments to saving the environment.
We make a flat-out effort to develop the industry of forestry in the desert. Desert industry serves both commercial and environmental needs.
As a result of the improvements in the environment, natural lakes peppered round encourage locals to return and new migrants to arrive.
Today, hundreds of different breeds of birds have settled here. Local herdsmen call them beautiful angels and try hard to protect them, so their numbers are likely to rise in coming years.
Not only the numbers of birds will continue to increase, but also the region's attractions for investors.
China is boosting its efforts at preventing the spread of desert lands. Working with private companies, the work in Kubuqi Desert has become a flagship project of these efforts.
During the past 5 years, China has restored over 10 million hectares of land affected by desertification. The desert area used to increase by 10,000 square kilometers every year. Now it shrinks by 2,400 square kilometers annually.
Since 2016, China has used public-private partnerships in the fight against the desertification, with companies investing in tourism and agricultural projects and farmers getting subsidies.
Decades ago, this was a desolate desert. Now it's a garden, a tourism attraction in the middle of the desert. Not only it turns the land green, but it also generates income for local people so that such projects could be sustainable and expanded to more areas.
China is also working with the United Nations, and efforts to control desertification has extended across the nation's border.
I think in United Nations we believe this is a model that can be replicated, that can have multiplier effect, and it can be replicated everywhere in the world where we have the right kind of building blocks, what are here.
Yet it is too early to declare victory. China has one of the world's largest desert areas. 1/4 of the nation's territory is affected by desertification. 95% of that is along the Belt and Road economic zone that the country strives to revive. It requires great efforts to turn desert into green land, yet it will require more to keep it this way.
刚开始的时候呢，可能是觉得在这样的一个环境里种地啊，或者是进行农业的操作呢，是一个商业机会。但实际上，随着这个时间的推移，当看到更多的沙漠让我们在我们的农地下变成绿洲、变成良田以后，使命感就开始出来了。能够把沙漠变为耕地，那这件事情本身的意义和价值，就一定会在未来凸显出来。到目前为止，15项专利，4项发明。因为 我们会从企业的这个维度来去考虑如何来种地如何来解决农业的问题。13、14、15的话，我们对应的发展速度是50亩、500亩、1000亩。当500亩的这个一片良田产生，然后绿油油的，这个老百姓开始相信了。当到5000亩的时候，老百姓开始追随。其实往往是这样的，就是我们不能去在创业的初期就判断准确我们未来的方向，但只要你坚持的做下去，你会找到。